Overwatch 2 Transformers. Join the epic battle between the Autobots and Decepticons with Optimus Prime as Reinhardt, Megatron as Ramatra, Bumblebee as Bastion, and I don't know what this is. What is it? RC as Alari. Who the hell? I don't even remember who RC is. Pick up these limited time skins in-game premium shop today. You can also play now through July 22nd. So that's probably when the skins end chat. July 22nd. To collect new player icons, name cards, and titles in a series of limited time challenges to show your allegiance to the Autobots or the Decepticons. Transformers, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Also, Summer Games 2024. The summer games are back. Jump into arcade and play your favorite summer games in the arcade, including Lucio Ball and Winston's Beach Volleyball. Play to earn new sprays, player icons, and more through a series of event challenges available now through July 29th. Then, once the games are done, be sure to pick up new lifeguard skins for Roadhog, Lifeweaver, and Kiri from the in-game premium shop starting on July 30th. Introducing Mythic weapons. Yep, chat. Mythic weapons are now a thing. If you guys want to save your Mythic shards that you get in the Battle Pass, you guys can either buy the skin of that season or a Mythic weapon. But I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to buy both because you know why? Money. You guys are going to have to drop some money, like $70 chat, if you guys want both. Lol. Smile. Any smilers? New Mythic weapons are elevated weapon skins for some of your favorite heroes and will be available in the Mythic shop that you can redeem with your Mythic prisms. The Mythic Bound Demon weapon skin for Reinhardt changes based on your gameplay, showing epic, dynamic effects that respond to your achievements and cool moments. Whether charging into battle or holding the line, the Mythic Bound Demon Reinhardt skin reacts to your every move, and add Mythic Bound Demon weapon skin to your arsenal on July 23rd. Okay, introducing player surveys, general updates. Okay. After a match is done, you may occasionally be invited to participate in a web-based survey that web-based survey that you can complete on PC or your mobile device by scanning on the screened QR code. What the hell? Sorry, I was like looking at my phone while reading that. I was kind of botched. This is your chance to let us know that you've been enjoying Overwatch 2 and help identify areas where the game can be improved. Interesting, chat. Interesting. Audio updates. Adjusted the volume levels of health pool impacts when shooting enemies with base health, shields, armor, or overhealth. Made the sound cues clear as to what health type you are damaging. Oh, that's kind of actually interesting. Hero updates. Oh, shit, chat. This is where shit is going to hit the fucking fan, I'm pretty sure. Armor flat damage reduction increased from 5 to 10 per projectile, so they fucking doubled it. Enemy health bars now display when they are at their low health threshold. The armor changers have had a positive impact on which heroes and damage types are slowed down by armor health. We're increasing the damage reduction on it to further widen the pool of heroes that are significantly affected by armor's defense. Tank roll passive. Ultimate generation reduction increased from 30 to 40%, and knockback resistance reduced from 50 to 40%. And the developers said, dealing damage to tank heroes will be slightly less rewarding with the increased reduction to ultimate generation, and will help balance out the increased healing they may receive when the change to damage roll passive in this patch. Oh, there's a damage roll passive, chat. While the knockback resistance was generally, useful for tank heroes and their emphasis on positioning, it was also reaching the point where it was difficult for players to tell if knockback abilities were having any effect on them. Coming up is Diva. Defense Matrix. Maximum duration increased from 3 to 3.5 seconds. Oh. I love Defense Matrix. Yes. Yes. Micro missiles. Explosion damage increased from 4 to 5.5 damage. So it goes from 126 to 153 max damage with direct impacts. Yes. Make tanks stronger and take more and make them harder to kill while also increasing their damage. Yes. Yes. So the developers said The maximum duration of defense matrix is increased by half a second by reducing the rate at which the resource meter drains when in use. So it won't take any longer to regenerate. Oh, that's nice. And the increased damage on micro missiles will help the ability feel relatively more impactful against larger health pools. Oh. Doomfist is going to start getting buffs, even though he was really fucking strong. Oh, okay. The best defense. Overhealth gained per target increased from 35 to 40 HP. And delay before overhealth begins to drain increased from 1 to 3 seconds. Oh. Okay. Most of Doomfist's survivability is through his excellent mobility, and this is the boost his passive overhealth generation will enable him to stay in the fight longer before disengaging, especially when hitting multiple targets with his abilities. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't think Doomfist needed a buff. But yeah. I also don't think Diva needed a buff. See, chat, so what I think they're doing is that you could break all the characters, and that way nobody could complain. Junker Queen. Junker Queen is... Oh, sorry. Let me do... Commanding Shout. Overhealth increased from 150 to 175. And Adrenaline Rush. Wound damage self-healing multiplier increased from 2 to 2.5 times. The developers say Junker Queen is relatively small and fast for a tank hero, so Commanding Shout doesn't need a ton of bonus health to be effective. The increased wound healing better rewards her for managing her abilities well. Oh my god, this is the way, this is the thing that we need to see. So, you have Maga next on the list, chat. Maga. Overrun knockback damage increased from 25 to 30. And also, Stomp damage increased from 60 to 75. Hey! Did you guys want Maga buffs? Because you're gonna get some Maga buffs. Cardiac Overdrive. Duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. That sounds really good, chat. W. Lifesteal increased from 60 to 100. Wait, that's a typo. That has to be a typo. Lifesteal increased from 60 to 100. Chat. This is Florida entering my brain, right? I want to say I'm from Florida and I don't understand this, but does that say 100% lifesteal for 3 seconds? Damage reduction increased from 30 to 40%, and allies now receive only half of the lifesteal and damage reduction effect value. So, lifesteal for your teammates are 50% lifesteal and also 20% damage reduction. But Maga himself gets 100% and 40%. Developer comments, Cardiac Overdrive is Maga's primary tanking ability that keeps him in the fight, but the previous duration was too difficult to counter. It is now more of a potent effect with a shorter duration to increase the importance of choosing both the right moment to use it as Maga and when to try mitigating against it as an enemy. Orisa, Fortify, duration increased from 3.5 to 4 seconds. The Fortify and Javelin Spin abilities were weakened further than necessary when Orisa was overly dominant. She was not performing well since then, but in this patch we're broadly adjusting how impactful the role is. So, there is room again to return some Fortify effectiveness. Ramatra! Nemesis form bonus armor increased from 225 to 300. Pummel damage increased from 60 to 65. The pummel damage adjustment is notable as it reduces the number of punches required to knock out a 250 health hero. Reinhardt! Did every fucking tank get a buff? What are we doing? Barrier Field. Maximum health increased from 1400 to 1600, so 200 more shield health. And barrier regeneration rate increased from 140 to 160 health per second, obviously because it has more health now. And Charge. Wall impact damage increased from 275 to 300. One of the core design goals for Reinhardt is to be a hero that shields his team. In the past, we've reduced the barrier health significantly in order to improve other offensive aspects of his kit to better fit the fast-paced gameplay of Overwatch 2. But perhaps it was a bit too much. We still want to avoid barriers feeling mandatory due to how useful they could be and keep tank diversity at a healthy level. However, with this patch, looking at the tank role in particular, we're increasing Reinhardt's barrier health again and will evaluate further. Lovely. Roadhog. Pigpen. Area damage after activating increased from 30 to 45 damage per second, and recovery time reduced from 0.55 to 0.4 seconds. Cooldown now begins immediately when used instead after a short delay. Okay. So Roadhog actually got a buff. The Pigpen ability wasn't very useful outside of being used in the chain hook combo, so we're increasing its potential threat if the enemy team stays within its area. Dude, did all the fucking tanks get buffed, chat? Accretion for Sigma. Impact damage increased from 40 to 80. 120 damage total. What the f? Sigma is a tank that does not currently have an issue with survivability when cycling between managing his barrier, kinetic grasp, and weapon range. We are, however, increasing the damage of Accretion to bring back more of a threat as used to oppose and increase the satisfaction in landing it. It also did not benefit from the global increase to projectile size. Winston. Tesla Cannon secondary fire charge time reduced from 1 second to 0.85. And Primal Rage maximum health increased from 500 to 700. Holy shit, you get more health on Primal now. Winston is one of the top performing tanks at the moment, though when considering how satisfying the individual abilities within his kit are, the Tesla Cannon secondary fire felt underwhelming for how long it took to charge, so it will now be a bit more fluid. We still also want Primal Rage mode Winston to be killable, but adding some health to it will help avoid some of the extreme situations where it could happen too quickly. That doesn't actually make any sense. Winston is one of the top performing tanks at the moment, so let's just buff him. Wrecking Ball. Holy shit, chat. Wait a minute. Sorry, I have to look at this real quick. Diva, Doomfist, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All of the fucking tanks got a buff. Every single fucking tank in this game got a buff. Not Orisa, not Zarya. We literally just read Orisa. Orisa just got a Fortify buff. Not Zarya. Someone said not Zarya. Okay, let's read not Zarya since you said not Zarya. Particle barrier health increased from 200 to 225 and duration increased from 2 to 2.5 seconds. Projectile barrier increased from 200 to 225 and duration increased from 2 to 2.5. Didn't you just say your Zarya didn't get buffed? Isn't this season 2 Zarya, chat, basically, where Zarya was really fucking hard meta and broken? Besides the bubble buff that they did that increased the size of the bubble, increasing the health on these barriers also means total energy Zarya can gain per barrier is increased. So this is about to boost both her offensive and defense capabilities. Wrecking Ball. Quad Cannon's automatic reload time while transformed reduced from 2 seconds to 1.6 seconds. And Adaptive Shield's allied overhealth transfer ratio increased by 50%. Used to be 50 overhealth per target to grant allies up to 75 HP. Wrecking Ball has excellent mobility and survivability and will now even be more efficient in transferring some of that survivability to his teammates, should he choose to return to them. We're also making the automatic reload in ball form match his manual reload timing for a smoother transition between modes. Awesome. So every single fucking tank character literally just got buff. Okay, so let's look at DPS, chat. DPS is the time to shine. Let's see, you ready? Damage. Damage roll passive. Now only half as effective against tank heroes. 10% healing reduction. Okay. With the tank heroes being the front line, they have this healing reduction effect nearly all of the time and generally the most reliant on the incoming healing and to support them as well. The damage roll passive is providing an important function to the game overall. I actually don't think so. I think passives are really fucking shit for the game. But its effect on tank survivability and pace of gameplay is more impactful relative to the other roles. As such, we are reducing its potency against tank heroes. Okay, chat. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They just buffed every single fucking tank in the game, survivability, and their abilities. So let's just see what they do to the DPS and support category. So Ashe. Bob now gains the tank role passive. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Big Omnic Butler tanks a lot of incoming fire and will now be resistant to knockback and critical damage. Oh. That's not really a buff to Ashe, but it was a buff to tanks. But now Bob is a tank now, so... Oh, okay. Cassidy. Peacekeeper. Primary fire fall-off range rescaled from 25 to 35 meters to 20 to 30 meters. Okay, so now he doesn't do as much damage from far away. But that's going to be bad if they don't nerf Pharah. Okay, let's see. With this current tuning, Cassidy is performing well in too many aspects between his range, burst damage, and survivability, leading to him being a dominant choice among the damage heroes by an overwhelming amount. The gameplay goal for Cassidy is to be with the sturdier, close-range hit scans who is more proficient at dealing with high-mobility flankers. With this in mind, we're pulling back the effective fall-off range of his weapon to help align him with those gameplay goals and open up more hero variety from the damage roll. So, so far, that's a nerf. Pharah! Okay, thank God. Concussive Blast. Explosion damage reduced from 30 to 0. Thank you! How many times have we been saying to do that, chat? How many times have I been saying, just take away fucking Pharah's boop damage? It's so stupid. Explosion knockback radius increased from 6 to 8 meters. Okay, so they increased the range. And knockback increased by 11%. So they increased basically the boop potential, but they took away the damage. I don't know if that's going to be enough to nerf Pharah, but we'll see. They basically took away something, but they added more. So, This is a reversion back to Pharah's Concussive Blast from before her recent rework. Dealing an even small amount of damage with this ability increases her lethality, significantly made it too reliable in finishing off low health targets. Due to its wide area and fast projectile speed, without waiting the full recovery to fire another rocket. Okay, anyways, cool. Wait. Whoa, wait a minute. How come every single fucking tank character got a buff? But DPS got 1, 2, 3 changes. Pharah was deserved. Cassidy was... Okay, Cassidy was a little broken. And Ashe got an indirect buff. Okay, we'll see. Actually, I do want to see you. I do think that's kind of interesting. Yo, what's up, Dad? How you doing? I do think this is interesting, chat, because majority of the time you would see Cassidy and Pharah. But now since they brought it down a little bit, I do think you're probably going to see a little bit more Ashe. Because that Bob thing right here looks actually pretty spicy. But we'll see. So, going down to our last category, support, chat. You have Ana, Sleep Dart. Duration of effect on tank heroes decreased from 3.5 to 3 seconds. Alari, Healing Pylon. Allies no longer see the destroyed UI when Healing Pylon breaks. And Alari will still see the UI alert, but allies generally don't need to see it as it could occur fairly often and be distracting. Wow, okay, that's a... Zenyatta, ultimate cost decreased by 10%. We're reducing the cost of Transcendence as Zenyatta was impacted more than most of the changes, by some of the changes in this patch. Okay. So, what do you guys think about Overwatch Season 11 mid-season patch? Woo! Yeah! Awesome! I can't wait to play! This is... Okay, friends, YouTube thinks you might like this next video, so let me know if they're right.